Ever felt a chill in your own home, a distance from the person sleeping right next to you? For Liam, that chill became a harsh, undeniable frost. He and Clara had been married for 8 years, a journey that started with bright hopes and shared dreams. They had built a life, a home, a story together. Or so he thought. The first crack appeared subtly. A late night at work here, a hushed phone call there. Liam, ever trusting, initially brushed it off. Clara was ambitious, her career was demanding. He wanted to be the supportive husband. But the excuses started to feel thin, rehearsed. The warmth that once defined their evenings was replaced by the glow of her phone screen, her laughter directed at someone on the other end of the line. The doubt, once a tiny seed, began to sprout, its roots twisting around his heart. He remembered their vows, the promise of forever whispered under a canopy of stars. Had that meant nothing? Was he just a supporting character in a life where she was the only star? He didn't want to believe it. He loved Clara, or at least, he loved the memory of the woman he had married. He started paying closer attention, not out of suspicion, but out of a desperate need to prove himself wrong. He'd notice her dressing up for a girls' night, a scent of perfume he hadn't bought her lingering in the air long after she'd left. Each detail was a small cut, bleeding his hope dry. The confirmation came not with a dramatic confrontation, but with the quiet, cold betrayal of a forgotten, unlocked laptop. It was a Tuesday evening. Clara was supposedly at a work dinner. Liam, tidying up the living room, noticed her laptop was still on the desk, open. A message notification popped up on the screen. He knew he shouldn't look. It was an invasion of privacy, a line he never thought he'd cross. But a force stronger than his principles, a gnawing, desperate need to know the truth, pulled him in. The message was from a man named Alex. It wasn't just a friendly message. It spoke of their weekend, of shared moments, of feelings that had no place in his marriage. Scrolling up, his world crumbled. He saw pictures, plans, and whispered promises. The late nights, the hushed calls, the secret smiles. It all clicked into place, forming a hideous mosaic of deceit. There were no tears, not at first, just a profound, hollow emptiness. It felt like watching a movie of his own life, but he was no longer the main character. He was just an unsuspecting extra. The woman he had shared his deepest fears and highest hopes with was a stranger. The foundation of his world had been built on a lie, and it was now collapsing around him. He felt a wave of nausea. He closed the laptop, the click echoing in the silent house like a final judgment. In that moment of crushing silence, something inside Liam shifted. The initial shock gave way to a cold, clear resolve. A dramatic confrontation yelling tears. What would that accomplish? It wouldn't erase the betrayal. It wouldn't mend his shattered trust. It would only give her the stage for more lies, more excuses, more manipulation. He had seen enough. He had heard enough. He wouldn't give her the satisfaction of a fight. He wouldn't play a part in her drama. No, his exit would be like his discovery. Silent, deliberate, and absolute. He wasn't going to run away. He was going to dismantle the life they built, piece by piece, without her even noticing until it was too late. The next morning, Liam woke up and followed their routine as if nothing had changed. He made coffee, just the way Clara liked it. He smiled when she kissed him goodbye, a hollow gesture that felt like a sharp jab to his heart. But beneath the calm exterior, a meticulous plan was taking shape. His first call was to a lawyer. He explained the situation calmly, factually. He wanted to understand his options, to secure his future. He wasn't seeking revenge, just a clean break. The lawyer advised him on how to separate their finances, document everything, and prepare for the inevitable divorce. This was no longer about emotion, it was about strategy. He started by quietly moving his personal savings into a new, separate account. He went through their shared documents, making copies of everything. Bank statements, property deeds, investment portfolios. Every evening, while Clara was engrossed in her phone, texting her secret love, Liam was in his study, planning his new life. He looked for a new apartment, a place that would be his own sanctuary, free from the ghosts of her lies. He methodically packed his most treasured belongings: books from his grandfather, photos of his parents, the guitar he hadn't played in years. He hid the boxes in the back of the garage, a secret escape pod waiting for launch. Each day was a performance. He played the part of the loving husband, all while severing the ties that bound them. It was emotionally exhausting. There were moments he wanted to scream, to confront her, to demand to know why. But he held back, fueled by a newfound sense of self-preservation. He realized that the ultimate power wasn't in winning an argument, but in reclaiming his own life on his own terms. He was taking back control, not by raising his voice, but by lowering his. The silence became his weapon, his shield, and his path to freedom. He was orchestrating his own quiet, disappearing act. The final day arrived. It was a Saturday. Clara had announced she was going on a weekend yoga retreat with her friends. Liam knew exactly what that meant. He helped her pack her bag, wished her a relaxing time, and kissed her goodbye one last time. As her car pulled out of the driveway, a profound sense of relief washed over him. The performance was over. He immediately called his two closest friends. Within an hour, they were there with a moving truck. In a few hours of coordinated effort, every box, every piece of his life was loaded up. He walked through the house one last time. It looked almost the same, but it was hollow, empty of his presence. He left only two things on the polished kitchen counter. The first was his wedding ring. The second was a set of signed divorce papers, along with a note from his lawyer. There was no angry letter, no final accusation. Just the cold, hard reality of legal documents. His actions would speak louder than any words he could ever write. As he drove away from the house they had built together, he didn't look back. He wasn't running from a broken marriage. He was driving toward a new beginning, a future he would build for himself, founded on honesty and self-respect. The silence was finally broken, not by a shout, but by the quiet hum of an engine carrying him toward a life of peace. Thank you so much for watching. If you've ever faced a difficult moment like this, remember that your peace and well-being come first. Please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories. We'll see you in the next one.